Views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
You know that moment when you realize you have mastered your wellness. When you've become so resilient, you can conquer any hiccup life throws you. Yeah, well, me either. But I still ride unicorns. I'll teach you how to become a mindset master. You will learn how your habits and behavior affect your success of nutrition, exercise, relationships, organization, and so much more. It's your reality, and you need to do it your way. Self-care and self-love are anything but selfish. Take charge. Get excited. If not now, then when? Grab your espresso and get ready to talk all things wellness. It's time for Coach, Couch, and Coffee Radio with Coach Peggy Willms right now.
Hello, everyone. Coach Peggy here, and you are listening to Coach, Couch, and Coffee Radio on Transformation Talk Radio. You know, you can find me every Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 Eastern, same place, same bat channel. I always grab my favorite unicorn mug, but today is so special. For the first time ever, I grabbed my happy face mug because I love my guest so much. Rob, what did you bring for your mug?
I brought a Harry Potter mug that has all the Harry Potter characters. No, mug.
We both love coffee so much. Like, that is one of our connections for sure. Okay, you guys, this show, as you can see behind me, it was Father's Day yesterday, and this show was very important to me. I hope it resonates with listeners and viewers. And if you are a father, now remember, we all, some way, some fashion, science says we have a father. Sperm donor, daddy, father, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And so I hope it resonates with you, and I hope it resonates with the daughters and the mothers out there, because if you don't have a good role model, I want you to go get one. So anyways, when I was thinking about this show, Rob, first of all, instead, we're going to do a 45-minute show today instead of 30, because I love and miss you.
Wow, that blows my mind. Thank you.
I know, right? Can you imagine? Who wants to talk to you that much, babe? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So when I was thinking about doing this Father's Day show, I mean, it was like I went through a process. I was like, okay, I'm going to find all these authors who wrote these amazing books on how to be the greatest dad. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't have time to read one more book that's going to pretend to be, right? So I said, I put the list aside. Then I thought, well, I could go into my family. And I thought, no, my poor stepdad who got me at 21 would be like, please don't make me do this crap. Not that you were like the last resort at all.
You're making this sound like such a...
I'm so excited that I'm prefacing it this way. But before I tell everybody all the resume crap stuff that you do, I just really want to say, I've known you, I met you through your wife, as you know, Kathleen, and I've known you for a couple years, and you may not realize this, but I've sat back and watched you, and some of the things you say and do, I just wish we could duplicate you on a Xerox machine. Not that you're perfect. I have 2 disclaimers for today's show. Rob is not perfect.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Way to lift me up, Coach. And I am not here to shame or blame or tell anybody or point the fingers at anyone. We're just here to have some fun and maybe spark some energy for people to be the best they can be. So let's hear about Rob. So Rob is a COO of a public multinational logistics company, which is so many words. I had to look at that. And currently he lives in Milwaukee, Wisconsin via Long Island, New York, which we're not going to hold against him. He's also from a family of 4 boys. So that probably didn't give you much advice on how to raise a daughter. Zero. But he has done everything from, you guys, so many businesses. He's so adventurous and he's such a hard worker. He even performed on Broadway. I have tried to find those videos and I can't, but supposedly he did.
God.
Singer, dancer. Oh God.
If you can't find those videos, then I've done something right.
Yay, team. Well, you do know technology, so you probably either paid somebody off or erased him out of society.
Did myself.
Okay, so welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I think anyone who is a dad or pretends to be a dad knows how hard it is. So it's an honor to even be here talking about it. So thank you.
Is it weird to be talking about something that's personal versus business? You're so ready, Johnny on the spot when it's business.
Well, especially in this is my home office, and I'm used to talking business, numbers. And that when I'm here talking about this, I'm used to having the fake button-down shirt on. You have the button-down shirt that you just throw on and you pretend you're being professional.
You can wear sweatpants.
My Unicorns Rule Bro t-shirt on. And, I didn't even, it was literally the first shirt I grabbed. So
you didn't even plan it, which broke my heart. I thought you planned that.
Totally planned it. I just didn't want to make you feel bad. So I planned it.
Okay.
Totally.
Awesome. So I wanted to ask you, because we haven't had this type of a conversation before. We love coffee. Yeah. We love to do our, espresso shooters and stuff. I am really curious. So growing up with, in a family of four, well, you were the fourth boy. Did you always know you wanted to be a dad? There are four. Aren't there four boys in your family?
Yeah, there are four boys, but I was number 3. There's 4, which is the youngest.
You're going birth order on me.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry. Middle childish, 4 sons.
Yeah, you're lower middle.
Yeah. There you go. Did you always know you wanted to be a dad and have a family?
Yes, always. Okay. Yeah, I think the difference was even Kathleen and I were married in the Catholic Church, and you have to go through pre-Cana, which is awesome. Yeah. But we both had projected having 3 kids, and then we have 1, and we were like, wow, I think we're having 1.
Is it because it was a girl?
Pardon?
Is it because it was a girl? Because it was a girl, you're like,
No, it was a complicated decision. But the truth of the matter is, now that we have Alex and with our jobs and careers and everything like that, would it have been great? Would it have been fun? Absolutely, to have more. I think, we're just as happy to have Alexandra, and she reaps the benefits of being an only child. So
one way or the other, we'll figure that out when she's 25 and she calls me and says, "Oh my God."
Exactly. Either way, it's probably going to end up in therapy. So, it just depends on the size of the bill and what kind of therapist it is. So
it's so true. So, today what I wanted to talk about is that, being the father that a daughter needs versus being what you think she wants or what you want to be is a little bit different. So when you decided you want to be a dad, okay, and then you became a dad of a daughter, did that then paint a different path or anything that you wanted to be? Like if you had a son, did you decide I'm going to do blank, or did it just fall out?
No, you prepare yourself for both sexes until you find out. And then when I found out it was a daughter, I felt completely and utterly unprepared because we're 4 boys. I mean, it was just, and mom was the queen, and that was that. And so completely ill-prepared, but overnight it changed my perspective on a lot of things with respect to, religion, with respect to society, with respect to literally 50 different multiples and variables changed overnight. Knowing that Alexandra was coming. And so it actually, I gotta be honest, I was always one of those, like blustery, and when I have my child, like, no, you will go to your room and I'll spank them, that's okay, and then child comes out and you're like, what? No, what? No, there's, 50 million variables that change when the baby comes out. Nonetheless, having background in boy stuff and having a girl.
Yeah. So, it's easy for me to bounce right ahead with the girl stuff. The majority of my clients are girls. The majority of them have issues. So it's easy for me to bounce way ahead. So I want to try to stay back here a little bit. But society and the fake Instagram sites and all of those things of what a girl's supposed to be, you can't have cellulite on your thighs. You have to look pretty. You have to go outside with makeup. You're not going to make as much money as men. All of those things still are very prevalent out there, and they sit, I'm sure, way out here that you're thinking about. Are you creating any sort of path? Like, how do you cope with that on a day-to-day? I mean, she's 6.
So that's my nightmare is thinking about social media, society and all that. All I'm basically trying to do at this point is give her the foundation of really accountability to herself and accountability as a family unit. So, for example, we were joking when she had her first day of camp today. And our thing with her is, we have our job, you have your job. Your job is to go to school, and camp is school for us.
Right.
And so your job for our family is to go to camp. And you have the same, responsibilities and accountability as we do when we go to work, albeit we go to work and we're paying for you to go to camp. But damn it, it's pretty close to the same thing. You have to go to camp. And the other one is to herself. You know what I mean? Staying true to who she is and not playing down to certain types of friends or feeling that she has to change who she is to other types of friends. We say to her religiously, you be you. And my big thing to her is, while she's being her, she's got to hold herself accountable to stuff. I mean, because without that, you lose the foundation of the whole breakdown of sexes and equality, inequality. We can talk about it for hours, society-wise. But,
right.
My big thing to Alexandra, and you've probably heard me say it, is you're better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Look, that's what I can hold you to. You are better than that. Alex, why are you doing that? I just look at her and I'll go, you're better than that. And right. She's getting to an age now where she'll say, yeah, I'm better than that. And she uses it to other kids in the school.
I know. What's so funny about your family dynamics, as I'm watching you guys grow up, together, is that I'm watching her actually start to coach you guys, which is such a beautiful thing for me to see, because you're like, oh, you're going to be Alex, da-da-da. And then she's like, Dad, I'm just being Alex. She's like using some of the stuff against you. I was thinking about the concept that you just used, is that you are holding her accountable, but in her window, not holding her accountable to the adult world, which makes those of us who are girls that grew up trying to be type A personalities, trying to be the best, stand up, look pretty, be smart, don't speak unless spoken to, still chasing an adult society, adult responsibilities, trying to measure up. But she still gets to be a kid, but be accountable for that chunk.
Yeah. I think, which is the other trap of being an only child with two parents that work. We talk to her like she's an adult. We've talked to her like she was an adult ever since she was a baby. There wasn't a lot of baby talk. There wasn't what are you going to do out? It was, what are you going to do today, Alex? And she'd tell you what she was going to color today. You know what I mean? Like those kind of things. I think that if there's anything I work on, it's that balance of allowing her the benefit of accountability. And it really is a benefit, because only with accountability can she feel like she's achieving something, that she's managing something, without these fake goals of, you did so good coloring today. Maybe you did good coloring today. Was that a KPI you set for yourself? Then awesome, you achieved it. You know what I mean? Things like that.
Right. So that's amazing for her self-esteem, and she's setting herself accountable. Where do you bring in that kind of breakdown? So she comes to you and she says, have a crappy day, super emotional. How do you take that out of left brain? Your wife, who I know very well, has a left-right brain ratio of 80-20. She's an attorney. No surprise to you. So how do you take this super compartmentalized, this is what you're going to be, this is great, you have responsibilities, good job, and just go, come to Daddy. Oh my God, you had a bad day. He was so mean to you.
Well, so it's funny because I do that to a certain extent. So when I pick her up and she's having a bad day, or she looks like she's about to cry, or she's got a frown on, honestly, I'll just ask her. I'll be like, "What's wrong? What's wrong? Tell me what's wrong." And if she can't, verbalize it, I'll just start with, do you need a hug?
Yeah,
do you need a hug? And then do you need a hug? And I give her a hug, and either she laughs, or I bury my beard into her neck, and she'll take a second, or we'll say count to 20, and I'll put her in my arms and we'll count to 20 together. And then she's able to regroup herself and say, okay, what was wrong? Well, so-and-so said this, or I didn't get to play there, or I fell, or I was on the monkey bars and I hurt my hand, or something like that. It's my way of approaching it, because, as much as I tease Kathleen, we're both emotional, kind of characters. And for Alex, it's helpful to say, okay, what do you have that needs to be released? Do you need a hug? Do you need a snack? Tell me what you need. Great. Yeah. Now let's break it down and let's discuss it. I think that verbalization piece where she's able to talk about it, I think does wonders. Whereas back when I was growing, it was suck it up. Yeah, to bed. Just suck it up.
Exactly.
Or suck it up and give us a cupcake. and that doesn't help either. So
now I get all the emotional leaders because of that. So fast forward. Don't. After the commercial, what I want to talk is how you balance this whole thing. So I'm trying to keep it dissected a little bit because I want to talk about how you balance being on the road, how you balance being a husband, how you balance being a great dad, how she doesn't miss you. You're there, present, but not present. But let's fast forward before we hit this commercial. Now she has to go out into society. Now her self-esteem has to kick in. Now there's relationships. Now there's professions. I'm sure that scares the hell out of you. But how are you prepping yourself to be the dad she needs? Are you still allowing that, that fallback of like, talk to me what you need? Are you planning ahead or anything? What do you?
Oh, absolutely. Like, for example, when we catch her doing something she's not supposed to be doing,
okay,
there is the rush to be like, I told you so, or I got you, or I saw you, and we build the padding for, you can tell me, go and tell me, because my fear is twofold. My fear is, I'm your friend, not your dad. That's not me. Not going to happen. No chance in hell. And then the other one is you try to balance, hey, want to be cool dad, with, hey, you can tell me because I'm your dad. And when you need someone at 2:00 in the morning, I'm the dude you want to call first. People pay me to be the first call. You want me to be the first call. Versus the self-esteem thing, which is, my biggest fear is that we have these kids with huge self-esteem now, where if they don't win a gold ribbon, they're crushed. Yes. So it's I'll be honest, it's this constant pendulum swing of trying to bridge. I mean, like Six Sigma, you're trying to bridge the delta to an acceptable back and forth where, yes, you're self-confident, but don't be cocky. Yes, I'm here to help you with anything you need, but you shouldn't need dad to help bury your body, whether it be whatever it is. So let's find, you know what I mean? Like, but it's one of those things where it's like, you want them to have everything and nothing because you want them to have everything so they feel like they have it, but you want them to have, less so that way they have something to rise to and grow stronger.
So how do you set up the fact, because I mean, relationships are going to happen. You and Kathleen have an amazing relationship, been together a long time, good friends, like to be around each other. Quite frankly, it's really rare. How do you set her up to expect that? Like, I want a guy that talks to me like my dad talks to my mom. Like, I know she's 6.
No. But it's Peggy, it's the thing that we've been prepping. So you ask Alexandra, and she will tell you, mommy is number one. Mommy is number one. That's it. In daddy's world, mommy is number one. You're a close number 2, but you're number 2. Mommy is number 1. So that way, at least she has that understanding that, mommy is there. So when I have someone, I should be held at that same level. You know what I mean? It's not like she doesn't feel like she's important enough. You know what I mean? Like we had someone say that to us, but, well, she's number 1. No, she's number 2. Mommy's number 1. It's like, well, how does that make her feel? I don't know. We'll see in 25 years when she's laying on the therapist bed. But in the meantime, she's going to know that mommy comes first, and that. Well,
and she'll expect that from her man.
No, exactly. But I had that. My dad and my mom, Kathleen's dad and Kathleen's mom. Like that was it. That was, mom is number 1. Your role, mom. Oh, and then there's you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so exactly. Oh, that's so. How do you deal with discipline? That's something that just came to mind. I brushed right over.
So
does she pick her own? I can't wait to hear this one. I'm taking a sip on this puppy.
So it's funny. Discipline, ironically, has morphed into this kind of self-disciplinary aspect. What we set up early with Alexandra was count to 5. Peggy, I can be anywhere. I can be in Target. I can be at the zoo. I could be upstairs. And if I go 5, 4, you will hear little feet running from anywhere. She could be doing anything, wrong or right, and she'll come running. So, okay, fine. So, attention. I can get your attention. But then I'll say to her, and this happened like last week, I say, okay, so if you do that again, what should the punishment be? And she said, I can't use my iPad, or I can't watch something, or I can't play with this. Now, don't get me wrong. She comes up with much more draconian punishments than I get. She'd be like, I can't watch TV for a month. And I go, oh my God, if you don't watch TV for a month, the hell am I going to do with you? Like that's the kind of mechanism. She comes up with the craziest stuff. But it is getting to the point where she's at 6.
I do that same thing with my clients. I'll say, well, what do you want to do this week? And they're like, I'm going to run 7 days this week. I'm like, well, I was just going to say 2, but hey.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. She's going to turn 13 and she's going to be like, I should go to my room. And I'll be like, yeah, okay. Like, I know it's coming. That's
so awesome. Okay. Hey, everybody, we're going to take a break. We are going to come back and we're going to talk about how Rob balances this whole crazy thing. See, I told you guys you'd love him. So come on back to Coach Couch and Coffee Radio here on Transformation Talk Radio. Talk to you soon. Welcome back, everybody. This is Coach Peggy on Coach Couch and Coffee Radio. If you have seen me twitching my eye and winking at you this whole time, I don't want anyone to think I'm like making a pass at Rob. I've had this massive twitch. Have you seen it, Rob?
But now I do when you're doing it. I didn't notice it before.
All right, you guys. So if you didn't catch the whole entire 30 minutes before this, then I want you to go back and watch it. You can find it on Transformation Talk Radio, on my live videos. You can find it on YouTube later tonight, on my website at 3wellnesspillars.com. All sorts of fun stuff. What we're going to talk about right now. So Rob is a dad of a 6-year-old, and we've been talking before we went to commercial about kind of his philosophy on being the dad she needs versus the dad that, that perfect dad. You're like showing her the real deal, the real world. And that's what I love because I coach it is the real world. I would rather have her come to me because she wants to fight the world and, figure out how to communicate better in that than come to me because she's a wounded rabbit because you know what I mean? What you did or didn't do.
That's the dad fear. The dad fears I'm going to destroy this delicate female psyche. And she was like, you could easily destroy a boy too. And you're just lucky they're alive.
Yeah, and that's just the topic today is talking about daughters. I know that obviously there are dads out there and sons and all of that fun stuff. But, part of what Rob was talking about before we went to commercial was the fact that, explaining to Alex that mom is first. Kathleen is first. So that Alex does expect in her relationships that she is going to be first. Where I'm seeing that generational drip is your mom was first. I mean, there were 4 boys. And you grew up knowing mom was first.
Oh, yeah. There was never a doubt. Never a doubt.
She was the queen Bardunias.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about you. So the reality is, correct me if I'm wrong, you're pretty much gone Tuesday-ish through Thursday every week for the past 6-ish months on the road.
It's actually been more than that it's probably been more than the last 2.5 years since we've been in Milwaukee. Because my last company, we had an office in LA and an office in New York. So I'd go back and forth. And now with my current company, we have offices all over the world. The 2 biggest ones in Denver and New York. So I leave. I'm up at 3:30 in the morning, Tuesday morning. I'm on the 5 a.m. flight. Get home 11 o'clock Thursday night. And then Friday morning, Alex wakes me up at 5:30 in the morning and wants to, talk and snuggle and play before school.
So how do you balance that? So I'm sure it's tough because you're off, you're doing left brain world, right? So I'm using that. You come home and you are, I'll say emotional. Now don't get all No, I'm not. You are emotional in the sense of you show your emotions. It doesn't mean you're all seepy, but you are a hugger and a kisser, and she can come to you and you roll around and wrestle and do yoga. So it's like you allow that. She comes rolling into bed on Friday to wake you up. Do you find that the balance is, I mean, it's not like you have to flip the switch. You're not one of those dad that goes, I'm going to work. I'm home. I've got to work. It really seems like you go to work, and when you come home, you're able to balance working at home and being a dad. Talk to us on how you do that.
It's a challenge, but it's easier with technology. And I'll give you the example. The challenge is to be present in what Alex is doing. I'll give you an example. They have this spring sing, this end of the year concert festival performance at her school, and we had board meetings, we had conference calls, and the challenge was, we have real deliverables. I mean, as a public company, you can't just go, no, I'm not going to do it today. So you have real deliverables and real accountability and a fiduciary accountability to your company and shareholders and stakeholders. But this is kindergarten. This is the end of kindergarten. Like, I'm not going to be able to do this again. You guys will be around. So with technology, I could throw in my earbuds, walk 20 yards away, do what needs to be done, say, guys, I'll be right back, watch her perform, and then come back again. Now, does she know I'm stepping back and forth? Not really. And that's the balance, is to make it look seamless, like I was there the whole time. I saw you dance, and I saw your friend dance. Oh, yes, she was so good. And see, I was just watching her. She's, I made her. And the other one, she's your friend. You're not even going to know her name in 10 years. Don't worry about it. Yes, I saw her too. She did a great job. You know what I mean? It's one of those balancing things.
Until she sees this 10 years from now.
Totally. But I can make sure she can never access the site until she's 16.
No, keep her off social media.
But my whole company, I've been very, very clear with my company. Everyone knows Alexandra. God knows how many conference calls I've done in the car with her in the back. She knows when to be quiet. When I go, Daddy's going to take a call, and we'll have calls. Like the chief strategy officer at my company, she knows him, and she's like, "Hi, Mr. So-and-so," and they have a whole chat back and forth. And it's a challenge, Peggy. It really is, because it's FaceTime at bedtime. No matter where I am in the world, we try to do that, and we'll throw calendar dates on. And Kathleen and I have a Google Calendar that we share everything from doctor's appointment, dentist appointment, concerts, campouts, everything.
So you're always able to go, whether you forget or not. You can go, hey, you went to the dentist today, and she's not going, you forgot I went to the dentist. I mean, that's a big deal, because it actually feels like you're always present, even if you're not present.
Yeah. And so the funny thing was, and Kathleen and I still joke about it, we had a parent-teacher conference where we FaceTimed, and Kathleen, I was in London, and we were FaceTiming with the teacher, and she was like, "Hi, hold on, Rob's here." And she turned it around, and Kathleen's FaceTiming with me, and the teacher was like, "Okay, hi," but she just ran with it, and it was good, because you have technology now. You just got to know how to use it, and you have to be disciplined enough to be willing to use it.
That's right. So yeah, it's not black and white. You just blend it. I mean, it's perfect fabric. Yay! Awesome. Okay, so now we need to talk about the wife for a second, because she is a part of this. In order to make you a good dad, and for Alex to be a good daughter, you got to have a good wife. I mean, it's work, not this perfect design. So how do you uphold those responsibilities? And
she's amazing, and it's a partnership. It's funny and it's interesting. In our neighborhood and in our part of town, there are couples that split roles, and it's like, I watch the child, I go to work. And that must be amazing, to be able to literally shut down one part, but you're also missing the other part. Like, it was funny, we saw a guy at the coffee shop this morning who, I'm going to make a vague judgment, but I will tell you, given his patience level and some of his reaction, he is not the main caregiver. And I'll go a step further. He took off today, and he was not happy. Like, the kids were wigging out, and he was just like, these kids were in their pajamas running around Kathleen and I. And I just went, oh my gosh, I feel so bad for those guys. Until the dad just walked out. I was like, okay, he's not used to this. And that's why I'm glad I'm not doing that. Like, I respect to everyone who's able to do that. I feel like Kathleen and I get the best of both worlds. We're both able to share both responsibilities.
And there's no secrets. That's what I love. There's no go to dad. Yeah.
There's not, well, mommy said I could do that, or daddy said I could do that. And I think that, I have to say, it's us being able to manage communication, just each other, and especially when we're away, updating each other on what's going on, down to things like swimming lessons. Like, hey, Alexandra's doing this, and she's doing really good at that, but let's not push this one too hard. And we're always on the same page with that kind of stuff, which is hard.
So are you guys, how do you pull back the sports thing? I mean, how do you test it? Oh, we want to figure out what you want to be. So try gymnastics, try this, but yet not try too much. She is an only child. So how do you guys figure out what that is? I mean, she's Irish dance.
We'll let you know when we figure it out, because we're still figuring it out.
Right? Yeah.
We have dancing. Okay. Well, she, I was a dancer, so I know ballet really well. She wants no part of ballet. All right, ballet's out. She loves Irish dancing. I know nothing about Irish dancing. I know Guinness. That's about as Irish as I get. And that's it. Other than the stout, I have nothing to give to the situation. But she loves it. And the sports side. We want to get her into her sport. She's great at swimming. She loves swimming, but that's sport of one. We're trying to get her into a team sport just so she could get that. She could get that experience.
Taste it, yeah.
It's a work in progress. We're trying to find something. It might be soccer. We'll let you know for the follow-up.
I can't wait to see how she designs that whole thing. Because that's part of the, you're funny. That's part of the thing too, is to give her, not really be the parents that are driving her in to do every single thing, but let her get a taste of it to figure out, where her interests are, especially if they're outside of yours.
And letting her say no and letting her choose.
Yeah.
Eileen's very good at this, where she'd be like, well, if you were an adult, what would you say? For example, with ballet. People are like, well, let her stay in ballet. She'll like it eventually. And it's like, nope, she pretty bluntly said she doesn't want to do it. And so the thing is, well, how would you feel if an adult, if someone's forcing you to do that? And I was like, you're right. I'm not saying she's got to do ballet, but that's the balance with what everyone tells you. Well, just make her do it. No, we're not going to play that game.
Yeah, I love it.
She wants to go back and do it. Sure, she can go back and do it. But in the meantime, we're not going to renew the new ballet shoes.
Just hang yours up. Burn her and hang yours up. Don't tell her. She'll see this in 10 years. So what are you learning from her?
I got to tell you, it's the perspective. Learning a lot about perspective, learning a lot about, I'll give you an example. At work, we were talking about pricing strategies, and we were talking about product strategies. And so we're doing a big transition at work. And sometimes you try to get ahead of yourself with certain initiatives. And so, for example, pricing. And so, you're changing the product, you're changing things around. And so we have these big master plans. And Alexandra said to me, she's like, Daddy, well, what are you now? I was like, what do you mean? She's like, well, what is your product do now? And so I'm explaining it to her, and she said, well, then why would you change pricing to be something that you're not? She's like, why would you try to be something you're not? And I was like, well, I wouldn't. So, and she's like, well, you tell me not to be something. And I was like, you know what? You're right. So I went to Denver. We had this meeting, and I was like, look, my 6-year-old was right. Why are we trying to change something that we're not? Let's just embrace, what we are. And it's perspective. I mean, there's some phrase from the eyes of a child, or some BS hipster phrase. But damn it, it's kind of right, because she got this raw perspective, unblemished, unjaded, and I one of the most jaded guys you'll ever see.
So how did you come back to her and say, that was amazing view? Did you share with her? Yeah.
I was like, honey, you did really good. You helped Daddy at work. She's like, no problem, Daddy, anytime. I was like, oh, okay, thanks. And it was just the way she said, don't worry, no problem, Daddy, anytime.
You can put me on the payroll whenever it works for you, Daddy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's a consultant now.
When's our next board meeting? Just FaceTime me in.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I have a question. Here's my little, I'm a lion. So I've worked with you on that before. Our sleep chronotypes. You're a bear, that whole thing. So I'm a lion. And I like unicorns. So I was given this. And I just thought it was really funny to bring, right? Lion with a unicorn. So I thought it was really funny to bring it to this show because Giraffe is somebody that has gone around the world with you and been lost and then found and whatever that you took.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. So Alex, tell us the story of how Giraffe came to be. And
so we've had two. We've had Giraffe and we've had Unicorn. And now we have Poodle, but we'll stick with Giraffe and Unicorn. When Alex was 2, I was starting to travel a lot again internationally, and she wanted me to bring Giraffe with me. So Giraffe has been to watch sumo in Japan. Giraffe has been to London on the London Eye. Giraffe has been literally everywhere I have gone. And I'll never forget it. We were doing this big conference with IBM. It was this World of Watson conference, and it was in Las Vegas. And I had Giraffe with me, and I'm taking pictures with Giraffe. And so they're actually, the hand of God, there are marketing photos from World of Watson that I can find from one of these conferences. And you see me in the back left, and what you see is me with the unicorn. Nobody in marketing picked it up. No one. Me and like 18 other people were like, and there's Rob with unicorn. But it helped Alexandra connect because I'd show her pictures, show her videos, and it was never oh, Daddy's not. It was always, well, Daddy's got unicorn, or Daddy's got.
Where are we going now?
There you
what
go.
are we eating tonight? Yeah.
Exactly. And so
did you have pictures? I think Kat is showing a picture tonight of, I think it's Giraffe. It might be Unicorn, actually, that's sitting at the dinner table while you're having steak and wine. Yeah. You're off somewhere in the world by yourself, but she gets to see that she's kind of with you.
Absolutely. And I bring it to client meetings as well. Like, I won't lie. We went omakase in Japan, and I put Unicorn right in the middle, and I took a picture, and everyone got a little laugh. But sure enough, those animals have been everywhere with me. And now Uncle Jimmy has Unicorn, and I have Poodle.
Yes.
So I wish
family member who needs Giraffe right now.
Unicorn.
Giraffe is missing.
I think Giraffe is at camp, but we will find.
We'll keep that on the DL in case there's something there. So I know when it comes to, I just want to throw in a health question. So I've worked with you guys. We always share topics about nutrition and exercise and yoga and breathing. What is Alex teaching you or catching you guys in that she's just like, come on, Mom?
So she does yoga now with us. She's also embraced circular breathing, she calls it. They teach it at school, or wave breathing, or so Alex will do breathing. She'll count backwards with us. She loves running. She loves being active with us. She pushes us to be active. She wants us to go outside and play with her. Soccer. She's big into soccer for the week, so we'll see how long that stays. But play with me, or bike ride with me, or hike with me. This weekend she wanted to go for a hike. How many 6-year-olds want to go hiking? We're trying to ingrain it into her, and she's throwing it back at us, which is good.
Rob, buddy, missed you. Good to see your face.
Coach Peggy, thank you very much. I appreciate
to see your hug.
Thank you for having me.
And I will chat with you soon. And I know that nobody's perfect, so keep me in touch. If we need to write a book,
my way through it.
Just laugh. Yeah, there's got to be some awesome title out there, like just laugh through raising a daughter. Something that you would be sued with a title that you and I would love to put on there. So, all right, I'm going to let you go, and thank you a million for being on. If anybody has a really super fun question that they'd like me to throw at Rob, you can always email me at coachpeggy@3wellnesspillars.com. So I am going to tell you guys, catch me next Monday. I've got on Dr. M. Mardlin that's going to talk about mind, body, and diabetes. She's going to give you a different spin, even say that you might be able to reverse yourself out of it like she did. So I can't wait to see you next week, Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 Eastern. Rob, I'm going to let you go off of Coach Couch and Coffee Radio.
Bye, Dawn. Thank you.
Bye. Talk to you later. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the after party for Coach Couch and Coffee Radio. So if you did not see the last 45 minutes, I was talking to Rob Bardunias. We were talking about being the dad that your daughters need you to be, not the dad that you think they need or the dad you thought you needed to be when they were born. I wanted to go into the after party to kind of take some of the things that he's talked about and then share where I see some of my clients and just share some of my thoughts. That's what the after party is about. It's all chill time. So Rob talked about how he sets some parameters with Alex and kind of gives her, mind you, she's 6. So sets some parameters with her that allows her to have accountability that's in the window that makes the most sense for her. So for instance, your accountability and your responsibility is for you to go to camp, for you to go to school, for you to clean your room. And as a child, when I was growing up, not going to put any blame on my parents. That's not what this show is about. Even though they say, many people have said, we are who we are today based on what our parents did or didn't do. Mind you, I'm a parent. But I do want to say that as a child, I often felt like I was always chasing or needing to chase something. So even if I only needed to go to school or I only needed to do that sport, in my head, that was never enough. I needed to move forward, push forward, dig deeper, and adultize myself, let's just say. And I didn't have the social media stuff that a lot of my clients and our young girls have today. And as a coach, it really, really has bled into health. And I don't get a lot that call me and say, hey, coach, I'm doing super awesome. I'm within my health goals. I have no high cholesterol. I don't get many of those calls. I do get some where clients are in maintenance. And again, I'm talking mostly about my women right now. I do get a call sometimes where they're in maintenance and they might be 5 to 10 pounds up and just say, hey, can I check in, get a few sessions just to get back on track? The honest truth is most of my clients are overweight. Most of them do have body dysmorphia. Most of them do have poor self-esteem, poor self-confidence, poor self-image. It is the way of the world. So when you dissect some of that down, why I loved talking to Rob today and why I wanted to get him on the show for you guys to hear is to step back and say, take responsibility for, let's just say, being a parent. Before you even choose to be a parent, am I the person that I want to be? Am I the best me? Have I done the work to figure out how I want to show up in the world before I bring this child in? And if you already have children, how can you take that from a C to a C plus or a B? The clients who come to me, I would love for them to be able to stand up and say, you know what, I've got cellulite on my thighs and it is what it is. I want to go outside without makeup on and I don't care who says what to me. I'm going to unplug from social media, which I've had some of my younger clients actually unplug from Instagram for extended period of time because of poor self-esteem with good old paintbrush, all those perfect filtered images out there. So pull away from that so they can not beat themselves up 24/7. But all of those things, if we were able to unplug from those things and sit in it and go back, where is the root of where everything fell apart? So the people that come to me, we do some of that. We go back and say, okay, family history and habits, what came forward? What were you responsible for? What were you not responsible for? What did you is a learned behavior? What isn't? And try to clean some of that up. So in talking to Rob today, I hope what you guys really got from it is that you need to do you. And the earlier you do you, it's I would rather have you take the energy to pave the way to say, you know what, if you're not going to pay me what I deserve in this job, then I'm bouncing. If you're not going to treat me the way I deserve to be treated in this relationship, peace out. Somebody right behind you that will. If you're not going to demand that you're first in a female relationship, if they're not going to listen to you, I just really wish that our 15 and 20-year-olds would do that instead of me having clients that are 50, 60, 70. And I'm trying to build all of that back up in order for them to be willing to give themselves the authorization to take a day off, to eat well, to not try to please others. So that's my advice to you. I hope you go back and listen to the show. If you're willing to break out and demand it, be brave enough to do that, I commend you. If you have any thoughts on this, then reach out to me at Coach Peggy at 3wellnesspillars.com. I love this subject. I would love to hear more. I'll do more videos on this topic. Take care of yourself. And I'm telling you what, girls, nobody puts baby in the corner. Have a good night. Talk to you soon.
Thank you for listening to Coach Couch and Coffee Radio with me, Coach Peggy Willms. Did you hear something that made you go, or have an aha moment? I live for those. If not, we will get you next time. I will be back every first and third Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific. The tough love you to become smarter, stronger, braver, healthier, and happier. Duh. I will be back with a barrel of positivity, and you never know when a guest might pop in. There is no time for excuses. So don't forget to bring your coffee and an open mind as we talk all things wellness on Coach Couch and Coffee Radio with me, Coach Peggy Willms. Now go grab a ray of sunshine.